The German post office on Monday morning operates like a precision instrument. 23 people stand in perfect formation, each exactly 1 meter apart, nobody speaking, everyone holding their numbered ticket like it's a passport to salvation. Then Jennifer from Phoenix walks in, sees the ticket machine, and announces to everyone, "Oh, I don't need a number. I'm just asking a quick question." What follows is the kind of silence that makes you reconsider every life choice. Jennifer approaches the counter directly, squeezing between people who've been waiting 40 minutes. "Excuse me, do you have stamps?" The postal worker doesn't even look up, just points to the ticket machine. Jennifer actually laughs and says, "Right, but I'm literally asking one question. It'll take 5 seconds." A man in his 60s, still holding ticket B047 while they're serving B031, makes direct eye contact with her and says in perfect English, "Ja. We all have questions. That is why we have numbers." Jennifer tries explaining that American post offices let you just ask quick stuff without waiting. The man responds, "This is not America. Here, we have civilization." She took a ticket. It was B071. They were on B032. She waited 90 minutes to buy 4 stamps, spent the entire time posting on Instagram about German efficiency being a total myth, and later discovered there's a stamp vending machine outside that requires no queue whatsoever. Nobody told her because cutting the line means nobody helps you. At a Stockholm supermarket, there are no visible lines. Just clusters of people near checkout stands, hovering like they're contemplating the meaning of existence. Marcus from Seattle sees an empty checkout, marches straight to it with his basket of groceries. Starts unloading. The cashier stares at him with a look that could freeze vodka. "There is a queue," she says in that Swedish way that sounds polite but means you've just committed a war crime. Marcus looks around, genuinely confused. "Where? I don't see a line." She points to the scattered people who are somehow mystically organized. "They were here first." Marcus, confident in his American logic, responds, "But they weren't in line. They were just standing around." This triggers a full investigation. The manager comes over. She speaks to the waiting customers in Swedish. They apparently confirm their exact arrival order, down to the second. Marcus realizes he's now part of a Scandinavian crime scene where the evidence is invisible social contracts. He sheepishly moves to the back of the conceptual queue. The Swiss train platform during rush hour has designated waiting zones marked on the ground. Small rectangles showing exactly where each train car door will stop. Commuters arrange themselves in neat groups at each marked spot, forming orderly clusters. The train hasn't even arrived yet, and everyone's positioned like they're on a chessboard. Danny from Michigan arrives, sees people randomly scattered across the platform, and positions himself right at the platform edge, dead center. Prime real estate, first in line for wherever the door opens. The train glides in, and the door stops exactly where a marked rectangle is, 3 meters to his left. Danny, refusing to accept defeat, sprints sideways as the doors open, attempting to board first. He collides with an elderly Swiss woman who was standing precisely where she was supposed to be. She doesn't fall, doesn't even stumble. Just gives him a look that suggests he's confirmed every negative stereotype about his entire nation. Danny tries explaining, "How was I supposed to know where the door would stop? It's not like they tell you." A businessman in an impeccable suit responds while boarding. They literally painted rectangles on the ground. With pictograms. We are standing in them. Danny looks down, sees the markings, and argues. But those could mean anything. Maybe they're for wheelchairs or something. The businessman pauses. Do you see wheelchairs in all of them? Do you see the door symbol painted inside each rectangle? Danny boards last, stands in the aisle for 45 minutes because all seats are taken, and spends the journey muttering about unclear signage, while literally everyone around him understood the system perfectly. At a Finnish pharmacy, there's a red line on the floor. 1 meter from the counter. You wait behind it until called. Sacred space. The person at the counter is discussing medications in hushed tones. It's obviously private. Brenda from Texas walks in, sees someone at the counter, and stands directly behind them. 6 inches away, reading over their shoulder. The pharmacist stops talking. The customer turns around, sees Brenda, and says nothing, just stares until Brenda backs up slightly. Not enough, though. Still way past the red line. The pharmacist points to the line. Please wait there. Brenda responds, I can't hear you from back there. I need to know if you have what I need. The pharmacist, maintaining Finnish levels of patience. When it is your turn, come forward. Not before. Brenda mutters about privacy culture gone mad, and how, in America, we're friendly, we don't treat people like criminals. She loudly announces to the waiting room, Is everyone here always this paranoid? A man reading a magazine doesn't look up. Is everyone in America always this rude? Brenda ends up filing a complaint with her travel insurance company about hostile pharmacy environments. They did not reimburse her. In Prague, the tram stop has no visible queue. People cluster near the door zone. When the tram arrives, they form an instant, wordless line based on arrival order that everyone somehow knows. Derek from Oregon watches this happen, impressed by the spontaneous organization. When the next tram comes, he tries to board first since he observed last time and now knows what to do. Except he doesn't know the order. Everyone else does. An elderly Czech woman physically blocks him. Her shopping bag becomes an impassable barrier. You were not here first, she states. Derek argues. I've been here for 10 minutes. She responds. I have been here for 12. And he, pointing to a teenager, was here for 14. You are 5th. Derek demands. How does everyone know this? The teenager, in perfect English. We paid attention. We are not animals. Derek learns that European public transport queuing operates on honor system meets telepathic network. Everyone tracks everyone else's arrival without appearing to look. It's a superpower Americans don't have. French bakeries operate on a system where you announce yourself upon entering. A subtle nod, maybe bonjour, and the person currently being served acknowledges you. Now you're in the queue. It's verbal contract law. Stephanie from Florida enters mid-Saturday rush, says nothing to anyone, stands to the side scrolling her phone. When the current customer finishes, she approaches the counter. The baker looks past her to an older man who's been waiting. Serves him instead. Stephanie protests. Excuse me. I was next. The baker, with that particularly French brand of passive aggression. You were not in the queue. Stephanie. I was standing right here. Baker. You did not greet anyone. You did not indicate your presence. Therefore, you were not waiting. You were simply existing in the space. This philosophical distinction leads Stephanie to demand the queue rules be posted on the wall. The baker responds, if you need rules posted to know how to behave in society, perhaps society is not for you. Stephanie posts a 1-star Google review about discriminatory bread practices. The bakery owner responds to the review in English. Madam arrived, said nothing, refused social contract, blamed France. 1 star seems generous. At a Hungarian thermal bath, there's a complex queuing system for the lockers. You take a number, wait for your number on the screen, go to the assigned locker area. Crystal clear to everyone who's Hungarian. Todd from Nevada sees the number machine, assumes it's for tickets to some show, ignores it completely. Goes straight to the locker area, finds an empty locker, starts undressing. An attendant approaches. You need number. Todd, already in swim trunks. I have a locker right here. It's empty. I'm using it. Attendant. Is not your locker until system assigns it. Todd. But it's empty. Nobody's using it. The attendant calls her supervisor. The supervisor explains the system. Todd argues that forcing people to take unnecessary numbers is exactly why communism failed. The supervisor responds, "This system was installed in 2019. Also, communism failed for different reasons. Also, you must take number or leave bath." Todd takes a number. B127. They're serving B091. He waits in his swim trunks, dripping wet from premature optimism, for 35 minutes. When his number finally appears, he's assigned a locker in the same section where he originally tried to claim one. The Hungarian couple next to him find this hilarious. The man says, "Welcome to Hungary. We have rules for rules." Todd doesn't find it funny. In a Norwegian grocery store, the self-checkout has an unofficial queuing system. One line feeds all machines. Americans understand this at airports. Should be simple. Ashley from Minnesota creates her own line directly behind one specific machine, because that one looks faster. When that machine opens up, she rushes forward, cutting off the person who's been waiting properly in the main queue. The cut-off person, a Norwegian man in his 40s, says, "There is one line." Ashley, "I was waiting for this machine specifically." Him, "That is not how it works." Ashley, "In America, you can choose your line." Him, "This is not America. This is how we prevent chaos." The store security guard approaches, not because of safety concerns, but because Ashley's broken the social fabric. He doesn't escort her out, just explains the system again, slower. Ashley insists she knows her rights as a consumer and can wait wherever she wants. The guard responds with peak Norwegian understatement. "You can wait wherever you wish, but you cannot check out until you wait correctly." Ashley stands in the proper queue, seething, composing a mental TripAdvisor essay about authoritarian grocery stores. The Norwegian man she cut off is now 2 people ahead of her. He turns back and says, "See? The system works when everyone follows it. This is why Norway is happy country." The absolute masterpiece of queue confusion happens at a Polish airport security line during holiday season. The line splits into EU passports and non-EU passport. Simple enough, but then there's a family lane, a priority boarding lane, and a crew member lane. 5 total options, each with different rules about who qualifies. Kevin from Arizona analyzes the situation like he's solving a puzzle. The crew member line is shortest. He's wearing a navy blue polo shirt. Close enough to a uniform, right? He joins that line. The security officer looks at his boarding pass, looks at him, looks back at the boarding pass. "You are crew?" Kevin, "I'm flying today, so technically yes." Officer, "You work for airline?" Kevin, "I'm a customer, which means I'm basically part of the team." The officer calls her supervisor. Kevin explains his logic. The sign says crew. "I'm part of the flying crew today. Every passenger is crew. We're all in this together." The supervisor, a woman who's seen everything in 20 years of airport security. "Sir, this line is for airplane employees, pilots, flight attendants, people who work." Kevin, "That's discrimination against passengers. We're all flying." They redirect him to the correct line. He argues for 5 minutes about misleading signage and how crew could mean anything, and in America, they'd be more specific. The supervisor responds, "In America, you would also not be in crew line. Please go." Kevin joins the non-EU line, now at the very back, having wasted 15 minutes trying to hack a system that wasn't hackable. He watches actual crew members breeze through in 30 seconds and becomes convinced it's an insider privilege scheme. Posts on Reddit about corrupt Polish airport hierarchies. The Reddit thread becomes an educational forum about what the word crew means in aviation context. Kevin never admits he was wrong. Later, an airport employee finds him at his gate, hands him a printed card. It's the official definition of flight crew in 4 languages, with a highlighted note at the bottom. Buying a ticket does not make you crew. It makes you passenger. These are different. Every American who's ever confidently strode to the front of a European line, insisting their logic was sound, has learned the same lesson. Invisible rules are still rules. The lack of posted signs isn't a system failure. It's a test. And European queues aren't just about waiting, they're about proving you can function in a society where not everything needs to be explained like you're 5. We really thought standing near a counter meant something. Turns out, it means nothing. The real line was inside us all along. Or rather, it was marked on the ground, announced upon entry, displayed on screens, and observed by everyone except us.